Hello and happy Sunday. How are we doing Here we go. We got some music, we got some jams. Hashtag scuff mistress for life. Hello. Happy Sunday. I hope you boys had a lovely weekend. It is good to see you. Thank you for the first, Mr. Manager. Heck, I was late to be fair, Tommy. I started early, but hello, Mr. Manager. I hope you're having a good weekend. Hello, Tim Tam. I hope you're doing well. Frick. Hello. Why are you frickin'? Hello, Sledge. How are you doing? Hi, Mistress, my, okie dory. However, are we doing today? We are doing okay. I was very productive today. I got up and we went to the gym and we walked the puppy. I was going to take pictures on our walk, but I did not charge my camera. And so I went to go take a picture of a blue jay and my camera was dead. And I was like, oh no, I can't take any pictures. Oh well. So we went for a little walkie and then I came home and I washed her because she smells. And we cleaned the bathroom and vacuumed and I got some stream stuff done and I helped my dad with dinner because he's never made mashed potatoes before. And it was so funny. So Dad made steak. He made steak and mashed potatoes, and then he told us that he said they're cheese rolls. And everybody tried them and nobody liked them. And then after we ate them, he told us that the cheese rolls are actually gluten-free and they're made of tapioca. That he bought them because Mom can't really handle gluten very well. So everyone was like, how did you feel about those? I was like, I did not care for them. Everyone was like, same. So, my dinner was good otherwise. So it was very productive. I did a lot of reading, so I've had a nice relaxing little day. Eric came first. Yes, he did. Tommy came late. But hello, Mr. Xylophone, how are you doing? Ahoy, Forest Crew. Hello, Caven, how are you doing, sir? Hi, you're always early. That's not what they tell me. That's not what they tell me at all. Early? This is bullshit. It's not that bad. Also, hi, Dins, how are you doing? Thank you, Sledge, for the 10 stream streak. Thank you. Boo, my camera with full charge. I have a camera, I just didn't charge it. I didn't realize that it was out of battery. Don't talk about the washing because dogs might get washed tonight. Oh no. Does she not like the washing? Holly's pretty good about it. She's not, like, she's fine with, like, the soaping process. She doesn't like the rinsing process. I don't think she likes the sound of the water hitting other water. I think she doesn't like that. For some reason, I don't know, but otherwise, she's pretty good about it. And don't talk about steak either, because I want steak. Well, what can I talk about, Dins? How did that man go through life without mashing a tater? I don't know, but he was very concerned about it, and he was like, what do I do? And so I told him, and then he's like, there's still lumps in it. And so we used the electric mixer, and then he's like, I don't know how much salt to put in, so I put the salt in. I was like, you just want to put, like, a crap ton, because, like, potatoes suck up salt like nobody's business. I make my mashed potatoes with, I always put cheese in mine, because that makes them extra good, and I always put sour cream in mine, because that makes it extra good. Dogs and baths this week, especially since they just smashed each other across the freshly mowed lawn and I fertilized, so they're all sleeping together. Oh no. They're smelly babies. Good morning. You were washing the birds. I was watering burbs. Oh, that's so nice. Hi, Oxy. Good day, Oki. Had a long day, and I'm seeing if I can get to some other things if I could read. Ironically, we're going to be looking at some books today. How's it going? It's going good, Ever. How are you doing? She does not like the Wawa. Soap is fine, but getting wet is not fine. Unless it's a drench her schnoz in water and sneeze on me. Yawn. Good morning. Good morning, sleepyhead. Use milk, buttermilk, or sour cream. I use butter, and I use sour cream, and I use cheese in mine. That was my next question. Surrounded by stinky bitches. What did I miss? Nothing. I just went over how productive I was today. Before we talk about books, because we're going to go through my bookshelf today so that I can ramble autistically, because I have been in a very literary... I've been in like a weird... I'm been on a weird streak right now, and I am just like real... I feel very educated. Hold on, I gotta open my water. Hold on. Let me grab this. Sponsor me, Polar. We're gonna talk about books today, but before we do that, we're gonna talk about something else real quick while I ramble about things. Oki gave Stinky Puppy a bath and made mashed potatoes because Papa Oki doesn't know how. Tired, but I had an okay day, or perhaps it was an Oki day. Oh my gosh. Got some good sleep. Good. I think it's helping me be a bit more motivated to create. Yeah, it's hard when your brain tired. You hold their can upside down. You want them to sponsor you. Sponsor her, Shiner. Also, hi, Rudy. I'm sorry, I saw your heart and I think I just glossed right over it. Oh no, not women's literature. It's not women's literature. It's mostly... Well, first we're going to go over the cookbooks, and that might be women's literature. Curious, you supposedly live in a forest while drinking a beverage named Polar. Can you explain this blatant contradiction? Do you know that picture that we used to see in school that had all the biomes? Where's that picture? Where is it? Can I find it? It was like a whole picture with all of them together. I'll have to find it later, maybe. Dang it, where is it? I ain't never gonna find this. I'm so old. Let's see if that works. No, that's not it either. I'm gonna have to try to find it. Sometimes I see it in meme form. It crosses my path on Bird app. If I see it, it might ring a bell. I was trying to find it, but... The woman's tomes. I make mine mashed with white pepper, garlic. Yeah, you have to put garlic in there. And lemon zest seasoning. Salt, onion, and let people salt to taste. Oh my gosh, my Yoshi saw my heart. Day complete. Oh my gosh, whatever. Although most chefs are predominantly men, so it's not really women's work, but needing a book to do it well is my sexism. Hey, they got good recipes in there. But what I was going to talk about before we begin, so the trend on LaBurb app is VTubers are posting them and their perfumes. And So I like perfume. I follow a lot of girls that are really, really into perfume. Okay. But I don't like to spend money. All right. So I haven't tried many perfumes. But right now, hold on. Speaking of women things. So this is currently mine. This is, I don't know how to say it. It's cafe latte. So it is, its top notes are coffee, sweet almond, and milk. Its middle notes are vanilla, ice cream, and amber. And its base notes are vanilla, almond cream, and caramel. But it's funny. That is a chunky bottle, yes. That is my current daily wear as far as perfume goes. But since I have been on this literary kick, and then the other day, I have a hard time spending money on myself, but it's been a while since I've purchased anything. So I went, and I'm gonna show you, chat. I went and got me some perfume samples the other day. Hold on. I probably need a book, but I need to cook more. You know, it's really bad right now. I am super skeptical of any online recipe because I don't know if they're using AI to write them or if they're just writing them and just doing whatever, just like putting down. They don't care what they write down. But they do not make sense. And if you don't know that they don't make sense, like if you've never made a recipe before and you're like, oh, I'm going to make this, and you don't know, you're going to jack some stuff up. It is so bad trying to find recipes online right now. Thoughts on ginger beer with a bit of peppercorn? That would be good. Hello, friends. Hi, Goblin. Plus 30 girly points because I wear perfume. Men wear cologne. How is that girly? Frugal, yes. That is a chunky bottle. So it might actually be some sort of cannibalism too. Ice cream, yes. Oh god, you smell like sweet coffee and ice cream. I like, I'm not real big on like floral tones usually. But, I mean, I can be. It's just usually not my go-to. I usually go for like vanilla or clove or amber or something kind of in that vein. I'm ginger during the summer and fall, revert back to dirty blonde in winter after I shave my head and beard. No shave beard, only shave head. Something for your troubles, don't spell. Oh, stop it. Plus 20 girly points. Why? Tommy is saving all his girly points for transportation. This reminds me of the term hallucinations, where AI will make up nonsense that sounds right to fill in gaps in knowledge. Yes. Real glad people are replacing their brains with this. Back again, I had to make sure Pumpkin didn't hide something that was once living. Oh no! Was she Mighty Hunter? Women need to smell more like oak or cherry or pine. Clearly, to be tomboy, you need to roll around in garbage and dog shit. Head shavers unite. So I'm going to show you the samples that I ordered. So again, I am on a literary kick. So most of these are author inspired. So this one is based on Ernest Hemingway. Now, one of my favorite books, and it's the only book that I've ever read from Hemingway. But the only book that I ever read from him was The Old Man and the Sea, but it is one of my favorite books. So this one has bay leaf, tobacco, fennel, bergamot, champagne, sandalwood, Egyptian musk, and clove bud. This one I'm excited about. This is Mary Shelley. So this is inspired by Mary Shelley. I was a little bit worried about this because it has rose in it, and usually when rose is in perfume, it is so strong. It is so strong, but we're gonna try it. What kind of tobacco are we talking? I don't know. They don't really specify. This one's tonka bean smoke. I don't know what oud is. Oud. Jasmine, rose, violet, and musk. Based on Hemingway, doesn't it smell like gun smoke and blood? I have a Sylvia Plath. This one I think I might like the most because I like vanilla and clove. I think fig would be good. Cedarwood. I like it. I like a wood. I do like wood scents, so like cedar or pine. Although sometimes pine, again, is like it really overtakes stuff. But this one is cedarwood, black tea, vanilla clove. I don't know what cassis is. And fig. But if it doesn't work out, I'll just put my head in an oven. It is Argwood. Oh. Yay, okay, yay, Grim, hello! She didn't find anything but a bunch of cat toys. Is there something for her to find? Now, if she gets a haircut, she'll automatically get tomboy status based on his standards. I don't want to cut my hair. I do need to go get a trim though. Also, how are you doing, Grim? Literary kick. I've heard of kickball, but not kickbook. Silly. I smell like vanilla and Tabasco. Tobacco, not Tabasco. Tobacco. That's a good mix for gentlemen. Oh no, I'm blowed. Don't forget the brain matter. See? This was my comment about women smelling like woods. I don't smell like vanilla and tobacco. I smell like Old Spice aftershave and sandalwood. Haircut mentioned. Nice haircut. Thank you. Now you can see my earrings. This one sounded more like something that I would generally wear, and it appeals to my spooky side. No, not this one. This one. This one is tonka bean dragon's blood. I like dragon's blood a lot. Smoke. Labania. I don't know what that is. Lab. Denim. What is that? It sounds like a flower. What is this? It is resin. It's made from rock rose. An orchid. Hello, okay. Hi, Talon. Imagine I smell like cheap soap and bacon grease. But you understand Pride and Prejudice, and that's all that matters. We can also see the weird part of the back of your head. Listen, it's not for your eyes. My shave cream is made in Texas, scented with black tea and vanilla, but also I like mixing tobacco and sandalwood. Sandalwood's always nice. How are you doing, Talon? Doing alright. Trying to play hardcore Minecraft Mon Pet. Spiders keep consuming my innards. Oh no! Foxy likes Spice Bomb. Wife likes the Deadpool cologne I wear. Polo too. This one is definitely... I don't know. I do like vanilla, and I like almond. I like the almond scents. So there's also orchid, black jasmine, forget-me-not. I don't know if you can really smell those. Indian sandalwood, and snowdrop. I know that a lot of people have been complaining about Bronte. I really need to read Bronte. I haven't read any. I don't think. Again, my spooky side. This is more something that would probably be up my alley. It's based on Edgar Allan Poe. And this one is Dragon Blood, Clove, Oak Moss, and Moroccan Rose. Again, rose is a little bit nerve-wracking. Forget-me-nots don't have a scent. This one's just dead writers in general. I don't know what heliotrope is. Tobacco, black tea, musk. It's vegan, not from real animals. I do really like animal scents in my perfume. Vanilla and clove. Again, me like vanilla and clove. And then this one is our Jane Austen inspired one, which is rosewood, coriander, cedarwood, honeysuckle, penny, that other stuff. Dead Writer's perfume makes me think of a rotten corpse smell. Well, not a real... Clothes and rose should work well. Good smell is patchouli. Patchouli reminds me too much of being in high school. Of course, as long as it's in moderation. I think it's the sandalwood. I'm partial to the... Luigi scent Old Spice release for Mario got... Really? It's right there. I can't ignore it. Oh god, honeysuckle is my favorite flower. You need that one. Honeysuckle is nice. But I ordered those. That's not right. There we go. I ordered those, and so they should be here someday. And we will see what I like. Patchouli is a stoner smell, which I can't stand. I think that's kind of why I have feelings about it. Because I'm like, it reminds me, because I used to, like, when I was in high school and early, like, in college, I used to burn a lot of incense. So there was a lot of, like, Nag Champa happening. There was a lot of patchouli happening. I was kind of hippy-dippy. So it's like a big smell. It just reminds me of that time period of my life, and so now when I smell it, I'm like, it does smell good, but also I'm like, I don't want to be reminded by that. My cologne in high school was CK Wine by Calvin Klein. Hippie Okie, don't do drugs, okay? Cologne best... Wait, Brunt cologne? Fight me. Wait, what? I don't know what that is. I'm not really familiar with men's cologne. I just know that, like, they all smell very... It smells like boy. I'm like, yep, that smells like boy. No one born after 1980 likes patchouli. It's pronounced brute. You... I mean, that's a good name for a cologne. Okay, let me switch over to this other desk here. Let's move everything. Let's move everything. Let's move the Wawa. Let's move my microphone. Come on, microphone. Let's move the camera. Okay. Production quality 10/10. All right. There we go. Damn, I'm surprised no one's giving me shit for wearing Old Spice aftershave. Why? But why? Why would we do that? Hello, how have you been? I've been doing alrighty. We just got talking about smells. Brute is grandpa's smell, is it? Men's smells, or men's scents are based on tree leaves, lumber, and certain specific spices and flowers like cloves, lavender, and black tea. I would love to become a soap maker, but market is saturated. It really is. Porch Goth used to make candles, and she had one that was leather and sandalwood. Awesome combination. It's right there next to Brute as a boomer smell. Is it a boomer smell? Also grill smoke. You want to smell like bacon? You want to smell like meat? Grandpa smelled like cigars and watching Jerry Springer all afternoon. Honestly, Jerry Springer is just beeping. It's just beep, 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 beep. Hell yeah, who doesn't want to smell like grill smoke? Uh-oh, we lost it. There we are. It doesn't like from way over here for some reason. Okay. Grill smoke turns women on in my experience is because it taps into that caveman part of the brain where you know there's gonna be food. Women love food. Women love food, chat. Alright. Today Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. Today, we are going to go through my bookshelf, and we're starting with cookbooks because, I don't know, we're starting with cookbooks. Starting with our most favoritist, let me not knock stuff off. Our beloved cookbook that was given to us by, are we going to learn to cook? No. This is our beloved cookbook that was given to us by Mr. Manager. It has delicious recipes in here, such as calf brain soup, liver soup. There's a lemon soup in here. You have fascinating dishes such as, let's see, raspberry soup. There's fruit soup in here, chat. You have raspberry soup and raspberry soup with wine. AlexJonesJuice.gif. Calf brain soup. Nothing but soup? I don't know what that is. That is milk, 5 eggs, vanilla, and sugar. Apple soup. Cold almond soup. How many have you made? Well, we did our lemon soup, and then we did a borscht out of here. And then I should really go through these and pick some more recipes. Usually I'll find something like online that I'm like, oh, I want to make that. And then I'll just find a recipe for it. But I should really use my cookbooks. Is there a mandrake soup? That would be very bad. I like wine, we know. Can't grill soup, pass. Potato garlic soup, win. I make a very good potato soup. We could do potato soup. But that's Mr. Manager's book. We have this one. I've thought about doing a series on this. This is 12 months of monastery soups. And it goes into like the history of like a little bit of like the history. But you have like they're seasonal, so you have like June. And so they have all of these soups that were made in like monasteries around I don't know if it's around the world or how far. I don't remember. I know I read the introduction. I thought about doing like maybe one a month. I thought that would be interesting. I have tried some of these. Hello, chat. Okay. Hello again, Sledge. Clam chowder served in a sourdough bread bowl is peak soup. We know she wrote 101 Ways to Cook Mandrake. There's that one. Only monastery soup I need is beer. Why are you anti-soup? Happy to see a fellow cookbook aficionado. So, I don't know. I feel like that would be fun. I have made... Which ones did I make out of here? I was going to start at the beginning of the year. So I did... Which one did I do? I did the mushroom. And they're not very hardy, but you have to understand these were in monasteries. I found a really neat channel. It's like the Historian ASMR or something. The guy that reads it has a very nice voice, and there's like little bits of humor in it. But I watched one today that was, what was it? It was like the lives of nuns in the medieval times, and it was really interesting. But yeah, they didn't do like a whole lot of, they didn't do meat. They didn't really do meat. If they did meat, it was like fish. So yeah, a lot of these is just like celery. So like the mushroom one is like celery stalks, carrots, fresh mushrooms, onion, oil, water, bay leaf. You have your broth. They'd have you use a cube. I would not use a cube. Thyme, salt, pepper to taste. But they're all kind of like that, where it's just like artichoke and potato soup, cream of pea soup, Brussels sprout soup, St. Anthony soup, which is oil, barley, carrots, leeks, bay leaf, parsley, broth, some chopped mushrooms, salt. So they're all very like clear, very basic. You feel like fasting, I don't know. Soup of soup. Zuppa Toscana is absolutely best soup. It's better than pizza. I honestly, and I've only had it when I worked at Italian restaurant. I only had it when I worked at Olive Garden, but I didn't like the Zuppa Toscana. But that just may be because they suck, probably. You should make pizza soup. No? I use ASMR Historian to fall asleep. I just wish he was a chick. He has a nice voice. You gotta be able to stab it to make sure it's dead. Soup is hard to stab. We have this fat boy. This is a hefty lad. This one has food from Russia, Ukraine. The illustrations, I don't have enough room. Illustrations are really pretty. They have like a lot of cultural stuff in here. There's a lot of stuff in here that I would not make. I would not make it. There's a lot of stuff in here that I would make, but it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And there's like little pieces of like cultural information in here, but it's like there's so much neat stuff. There is a mulberry tree. Oh my gosh, there is a mulberry tree on the playground by my house because we live right next to an elementary school. And oh my gosh, I wish that the branches weren't so high because I haven't had mulberries in so long. I was walking Holly the other day and I almost slipped because like the berries were like falling out of the tree. And I was like, what the heck did I just step in? And I realized that there's like mulberries on the ground. I look up and I was like, oh man. I was like, why are the branches so high? I can't reach that. Easy to make Italian wedding. Then add dumplings and cheese. High branches, but for oak. Oh, stop it. Hi, Jerry. Sounds like a short person issue. You wouldn't be able to reach him either. How you doing, Jerry? And that reminded me, I want mulberry so badly. I really want to cook a goose. Do you know how hard it is to find goose? There's a lot of stuff in here that's weird, and I'm like, I would not I would not. I would not. I need to get a good cast iron. I don't have cast iron anymore. See, beekeeping. In your cookbook, you got beekeeping. Yes, eat the geese. I mean, they are tasty. Oki needs shoulder ride partner to help pick mulberries. That is some frolicking nonsense that nobody would partake in. That is... There is no gentleman on this planet who would be like, can you boost me on your shoulders so I can get some berries? Anybody would be like, no, it's gay. What are you talking about? Just a cast iron skillet? Yeah, I need to get some cast iron. I don't have any anymore. Cook the bees. Bite its head off raw. Wait, what? Just to pretend you're... No, stop it. I would absolutely ride on my shoulders. Well... Yeah, at least you got a goose. But I really like this one. We should pick some out of here. Maybe some less weird ones. Maybe around Christmas, because like there's a lot of like slot. Yeah, see, like some of these we ain't cooking this. I'll eat this if I go to an Asian restaurant. I ain't trying to cook no weird eels, okay? I'm not gonna try to cook eel. I'm not gonna try to cook octopus. I would mess that up sideways. Yeah, but like Christmas and like Ukraine and Russia and Poland, they always have like a big thing. So there's like a lot of good stuff that we can make. Maybe we do that. We're not putting the fish in the bathtub though. We ain't doing all that. Make some pickled eel. You've not met an autistic man who wants mulberries. Okay. Oh look! There's... Apparently, I decided to press a leaf in this book. There's little treasures all over the place. I do not like fish. Well, that's because it's not deep fried and in a chicken nugget shape. Yay! So there's that one. Now we have a leaf. Leave it there, leave it. For you, chat, for the mulberries. Okay. This one's kind of a cook... I keep losing my tracking here. This one's kind of a cookbook. Sort of. Not exactly. So I have a couple of historical periods that I like. And the medieval, I don't know why I'm talking with my hands, so The medieval period is the greatest period of all time. I don't know. I really like the medieval period. So we have... This one's more... Here, we'll just... It's more like holiday stuff, I guess. But it like goes through and it gives you like all of the little holidays and what they did on that day. Sometimes you get dragged off by a demon. And sometimes you don't. But it just kind of goes through. You got your LARPers. You got, can anybody juggle? Can anybody juggle, chat? Hey, May Day, that's coming up. We should do some May Day stuff. We need a maypole. Carp goes in the toilet. Carp belongs in the bathtub. I have a volunteer white oak that potted itself in my orange tree. I found it today. What? There's loads of purple bird poop in your neighborhood. The birds ate the mulberries in our yard. And that they're purple bird shit all over. No, I haven't seen any. I'm sure someone can juggle. Imagine thinking I have coordination. We're not that kind of autistic, I guess. You got your little green man. Oh, she's super into him. But you kind of have like little... Honestly, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot. Oh, there's some recipe. Nope, that's not. These are for wedding. These are... We're singing songs, apparently. Oh man. That's one thing that I'm really stupidly into. I do be liking the coat of arms. I do be liking the coat of arms. Okay, so it's kind of cooking stuff. We need a medieval feast, chat. Oh, see, there's recipes. There you go. Parsley bread. Pea soup. They really like their pea soup. Honey butter, barley bread. I do like barley. I like barley a lot. Barley, it's kind of hard to find barley unless it's already in soup. Can't juggle, but I can balance. Now, if you asked if anyone could play didgeridoo, I can tell you that not only someone can, I can. But you have to have circular breathing to be able to play didgeridoo. And oh, I do a good Tommy Kermit, Jordan Peterson, and Pat, whoever that is, impersonation. Is this an audition? Yes, and that's impressive. I could never... We made a didgeridoo one time, and I could not get the circular breathing down. So all the kangaroos were making fun of me. Now I gotta worry about Den's breaking in my fuel tank and sniffing it. What else we got? Chicken with milk and honey. Fruit and salmon pie. That sounds not ideal. Lemon rice with almonds. Orange salad. Orange salad might be fine. Pork in a spicy syrup. Candied violets, that's fancy. Ember Day tarts, interesting. Cabbage with marrow. Game pies. Applesauce with pears. Ooh. Apples and pears are good. And then you have like all your drinking, your ciders and stuff. Brewing your own. Look, they're nerds. They're playing chess. Cabbage. You don't like cabbage? You don't like cabbage? Going to lurk. Thank you so much, Ever. Have fun. Remember, you're a fairy, not a bookworm, so don't start munching on the pages. Don't tell me what to do. I'd assumed only tomboy didgeridoo. Literally everyone grew peas and lentils in their gardens, while a lot of other veggies were not a thing yet, like potatoes and carrots. Medieval people ate a shit ton of peas. Sweet salmon. Look, just because I have a skillet doesn't mean that I took on all their traits. It has the texture of plastic. Are you sure they're cooking it right? Cabbage is the miracle plant. I used to play piano, viola, trombone, and trumpet, but I've forgotten most of it because depression-induced brain damage. So if you pick it up, can you not... I know sometimes it kind of comes back. It's like riding a bike, you know? Plays the skin flute. Blows or sucks. And this one... Ugh. You want to talk about a hefty boy? This is a college textbook that I purchased. It is Culinary Fundamentals. I went through this and I took notes on this book. I took notes on this book, and not the whole book, probably up to... Where was it? I took notes all the way up to... I don't know, somewhere in here. There's definitely past broths. Hey look. There's little secrets in all of these. Bookmarks, we have, but it goes, like, it starts... it starts at like the beginning as far as like how restaurants kind of formed, and it's actually if I had the time, I would do a whole thing. I don't know if anybody else is interested in that. I would do a whole thing about how restaurants started and how they're way different as far as like how we know restaurants today, as far as like serving and everything. But it's a little bit different now. But it goes into like your sanitation, and it goes in all of your like your recipes and like all of your stuff, your equipment. And then it goes into like all your regular chopping methods, how to sharpen your knife, how to hold your knife. Which I'm still really bad at. But I did start at the beginning where I think like the first cooking chapter, maybe I was, because I was doing like a personal curriculum thing. And so like the first thing they wanted you to make was to perfectly boil an egg. So I did several rounds of making sure that I could perfectly boil an egg, because I am special like that. But this one has lots of recipes, but this is a lot of like it's like culinary stuff. You're not supposed to hold a knife in a grip fist. Eggs are difficult. I don't think the boiling of, I've boiled eggs before, but I wanted to do one like perfectly. I wanted it to not have like, because you know when you like over boil an egg, it's like hard and it gets that gray. So I worked on being able to correctly make. I made some mean deviled eggs, but like you can butcher a cow. You have all your meat cuts, but it's just very culinarily specific. And I should go back and like maybe do some more technical stuff. I really need to get the little desk cooker so that we can actually like cook things here, because I can't like keep going back and forth in the kitchen when I make stuff with you. Eggs is easy. Poached eggs can be pesky though. Yes. Yeah, perfection is what makes eggs tricky. France uses them to judge skill. Eggs are easy, can do soft boil, medium boil, and hard boil. For myself, yes. I just wanted to like start, I was like, I'm gonna start at the beginning and I'm gonna perfect each thing so I can get better at cooking. So it was like, that's the first thing you do. I need to make another whole chicken. I haven't made a whole chicken in a long time, and when I did make a whole chicken, I had someone like helping me because I didn't know exactly what I was doing. And it's been, ooh, chicken fricassee. I was not clear, instructions unclear. We're gonna go over my fiction books now. Good luck to us. Let me grab those. All right. In the beginning, there was the Hobbit. Not the Minotaur Farm. I don't have Minotaur Farm. I used to have a real thick version of all of the Lord of the Rings. But sadly, as many of my items, I no longer have it. Real thick, yes, real thick. And I told Sunshine we should smoke a whole chicken, and she was like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. Like, I'd be the one dealing with it, and just smoke a whole chicken. I don't think I've had smoked chicken before. I bet that would be delicious. I don't know if any of you actually read, like, for pleasure. My grandfather used to love when I'd make him eggs Benedict with fresh Hollandaise. I'd make it like twice a week for him until his dementia made it impossible for home to eat. And he refused to be fed and could barely hold an. Oh, that's sad. That's nice of you, though. That one I have not read. I have seen pieces of it, but I have not read that one. So, I don't know. Actually, it's funny because the nun thing that I was listening to today, because they were talking about, I guess it's like the Order of Saint Benedict. And so he brought up the eggs a lot. And I was like, I should learn to make that. I read for pleasure. Of course you do. You're just so multifaceted. I only read for pain. I tried reading it once. Did it not go well? I have about 1,000 books, mostly sci-fi and counterintelligence, but some fantasy. I only read picture books. I can't read. I read like novel smut on the internet. Is it fan fiction or is it... This is one of the greatest books of all time. Lord of the Rings is lovely. You can't go wrong with The Hobbit. You can't go wrong with The Hobbit. You can't go wrong with Lord of the Rings. In addition to that, some of you may be familiar with a book and or movie that has traumatized generations. Watership Down. Watership Down's a little bit dusty. Tommy is a hobbit. Oh, because his feet. He's got some hairy feet. We hates it, Precious. We hates it. That was a fucky book to read in the 6th grade. Yes. Watership Down traumatized generations. Watership Down is excellent, though. I believe the backstory for this is the author, Richard Adams, wrote it for, I believe, his daughter or his daughters about bunnies. Unfortunately, the time period was a little bit different and the world was a much harsher place, so sometimes the bunnies had bad things happen to them. I own the whole Ender's Game series and Ender's Shadow series. They're in my storage. I haven't been on Twitch and I'm catching up my follow list. How did I get here? I don't know. I am not sure, but hello. We're going through my my bookshelf today. I do agree with the message though. Stupid. No, not stupid. No stupid bunnies. I like the bunnies. So you got those two. Speaking of cute small animals, we have a very good, it's not in order, I think that's the correct order. I was raised on rabbits, Okie. Ask me how I know, they're stupid. My bookshelf contains no books, but there's 3 motherboards and a power supply. Well, that probably explains your screen name. Of course she has Redwall. Of course I have Redwall. Why wouldn't I have Redwall? I need the cookbook. I have a list in my notes app from every single recipe that is mentioned, and I just write it down. Anytime they mention food, it goes in my notes app, and I'm like, I'm gonna find a recipe for that later. But what does that mean? What does that mean? Of course she has Redwall. This is a very childish, don't worry, we'll get to the autism here in a little bit. We'll get to, this is my fiction is for dumb brain. My non-fiction is for smart brain. Redwall is a great novel series because the villains and heroes are not ambiguous. That is so true. There is a very distinct line of, these are evil. These are evil creatures. Yes. So we have that. I need to get the rest of them. I was rereading them, and I did Lord Brocktree. I really like the Badgers. I like the Badgers a lot. Speaking of books that traumatized us as small children, I also have Where the Red Fern Grows. I read this in school, and I have reread it recently. I've reread it this year. And I have to say, we read it in school. When we got to the part with the mountain lion, I was crying. It wasn't just me. I wasn't the only one crying. I'm not a crybaby. Other girls were crying in class. Okay? But I was crying in class. I was crying. I was weeping. I was, ooh. I gotta start reading more books because my mind is stuck at fluffing around wires and trying not to get electrocuted at work. Please don't get electrocuted. That dipshit kid deserved it. What do you mean? He was a very smart kid. Or the Red Fern Grows broke me. It's so bad. Baby. You're a baby. You're autistic. You're autistic. You don't have emotion. Lifelong trauma. We watched the movie in 4th grade. We all cried. Yeah, we watched the movie too, and we watched it after we finished the book, and we all cried again. It was bad. Brian Jacques wrote Redwall series in the way he did because sometimes children are so dumb you can't leave interpretation up to them, or they'll side with actual evil. You have to lead them little brains to the correct conclusion. We also have... You can't tell what this is. We have The Call of the Wild and White Fang. I haven't read this in a long time. I purchased this recently-ish, the same time I purchased this one, but I haven't read it again yet. And it's not very long. I should probably just chew through it, but I have other things that I've been reading, so it's kind of on my back burner. But it's been a really long time since I've read that one. Adults do that all the time. I should reread Call of the Wild. It's good. Yeah, my friend was unplugging 3-phase electric monitor from the wall, and he said that it's all good and safe, and then a 60-volt capacitor knocked him straight off the ladder, and he's a scary movie. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I hope he's okay. Also, thank you, Dark Knight. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Welcome. Hello. Thank you. We are going through my bookshelf today. These are my fiction books, and then we will get to my non-fiction, which is much larger. It was okay. He was okay, but it did knock the safety precautions into him finally. Well, gosh, I hope your average normie sides with... Wait, what? I think they're doing too many movies that, like, the villain is sympathized with. I think it's way overdone. It was cool for a little while. Or like, what if we talked about, you know, what if the villain was actually sympathetic or whatever? It was cool for 5 minutes. But now it's like every villain, you know. Nonfiction sucks. It's real and gay. No, my nonfiction is cool. We'll get to it in a minute. Thanos was the only one that was right. I'll be honest. I like Watership Down. I like Watership Down too. But, I mean, it traumatized everyone as a child. Stone Fox also hurt. I don't think I know that one. Minecraft, the movie, the book. And then... And then you do actually have some lady books. This is the Wisteria Society for Lady Scoundrels. And this is basically a book series where there's like a supervillain society, but they're all Victorian ladies. And there's flying houses, like they're pirate ships, and they steal things. And oh boy, so lavender. Yes, it's very girly, and it's humorously written. But it's probably not terribly interesting. My fiction is Brent Weeks and Brandon Sanderson. Well, the same friend who lost the 60-volt capacitor used to take the safety manual book as fic. Well, not now. Sympathetic villain is interesting sometimes, yes. Most of the time, you do need your villain just to be absolutely irredeemably evil, yes. My nonfiction is mostly banned books, ones translated to English from my great-grandmother. Oh my gosh. So those are my lady books. Okay, I think I have a couple more fiction. Hold on. Not yet, Graysol. These are books from people on Minds. You may recognize some of them. This is Salty. You probably don't know him, but I do. Everybody is aware of Black Knight, I feel like. Yay, Minds peoples, yes. What's Minds? It used to be a social media site. Great grandma is German. Immigrated post World War I, pre World War II. Huh. I know Salty, yes. We know Salty. But those are Mine's books. This one is a horror anthology. This one is a weird furry pirate thing. And this is an absolute space opera. And if you haven't read any of the Star Shatter series, there is a crap ton of these. I recommend maybe go and check in at that, because there's a crap ton of them, and they're actually really well written. Blah, 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 blah. Now, this is what I'm Frozen. This is what I'm reading currently. Right now I am reading about the life of Beatrix Potter. If you don't know who she is, she did a lot of very popular animal illustrations. If you've seen like Peter Rabbit, it's Peter Rabbit, right? But she did a lot of animal illustrations. I think there's some in here if you're not aware. Look at the bookmark my mom made me, because I've been just using like a sticky note as a bookmark, and she's like, no, none of that. I think there's some pictures in here. Yeah, so she did kind of like fairy tale illustrations. This is some of her. She does very natural. But yeah, you have like Peter Rabbit. Let's see if they have any more in here that I can show you. This is some of her landscape. Her landscape's much better than mine. There you go. Very cute animal illustrations. Plus 40 girly points. You like cute animal pictures? You're so female. Book was not written by failed Austrian painter. It was one of those books his people burnt, though. One of my one and only book I have is fucking Great Gatsby. You have it left over from high school? Is she the mother of Harry Potter? Wait, what? Oh, because there's a Beatrix Lestrange or whatever. No. Thomas Lerp Salty. No, wait, I also have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone with Fancy Ravenclaw cover edition. That's because you big-brained, obviously. But this has been really enjoyable. I really need to hurry up and read it, though. I'm not even 100 pages in. And I have to get it back before, I think, next weekend. So I need to hustle. I need to hustle and read it faster. Very slow with the reading. I'm also going through this. I've been trying to practice my painting and stuff. I would ultimately like to get good at like doing little aminals. Maybe not super great, but I would like to get better. But this kind of goes more into like taking wildlife notes and stuff, and just because I do like a lot of birding, I think it would be good if I could take better notes and like keep those as far as like my observations and stuff. And I don't know why I want to keep that, because nobody's ever going to read it. But I want to. Oh no, we don't read it. As a lecture in Poland, my friend shipped it across the continent and made me read it, made me suffer as he did. Oh no. Well, that's not a very nice friend. But it kind of just goes into like what kind of notes you can take and how to do better at your note taking. You'll read it and you'll share it with chat. Okay, I don't think chat's very interested in my animal expeditions, honestly. But we used to do like stuff like this in elementary, and it was like the best part of school. And they just don't do stuff like that anymore. Now they just want you to take the standardized test and shut up. So I love animals, ma'am. Well, that's because you're silly. So those are my current ones that I'm reading. And I gotta hurry up and read them because I gotta take them back to the library. And now I'm going to go through my very large stack of nonfiction. You holler if you can't finish that Beatrix Potter book. Why? What are you gonna do about it? I mean, I could just check it out again. It's not like you could never take this book out again ever. Good job. Just let me know if you don't. No, stop it. Ouch. Oh, owie. Oh no, my ankle bone. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, it's like hitting your funny bone, but your ankle. Oh my god. Ah. Hold, please. I am in a lot of pain. This is fine. Owie. Oh, like funny bone, but feet. Yeah. Stop hurting my favorite fairy right now. Yeah, body, stop hurting. Did it not head pat me? The heck? Hold on. Where the heck is it? There we go. Okay, anyway. I'm going to have to go take pictures of whales for you. Oh no. I love whales. I could drop an elite knowledge on how to solder a piece. I can't read from this far from my computer, I'm sorry. Yes. A piece of wire to a broken 10 amp fuse to make it conduct like it still works but won't protect Any not nice surges? Quiet talent, accept kindness and despair. No. No, paper cut. Also, thank you for the head pat. Holler if you need to get you a cast too. No, it's fine. I just bashed my ankle bone, that little thing that sticks out of your foot, whatever that's called. I don't know what it is, but I bashed that against the chair. Feet are funny. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so I get to see every... Aww. Oh god, her blankie. Wait, what? You can't just redeem the head pet on yourself. Yay, Oki. Hi, Mike. Mike, Oki is a danger to herself. Call Harry. What is Harry gonna do? Harry's gonna tell me to stop crashing into stuff. Does the following thingy work here? Because I'm checking my follower list. Like, I don't know how long time off Twitch. Does the followage thing? I mean, it should show if you are or not. I assume if you're here, you probably already follow me. If you need someone to carry you on their shoulders for a few days, give me a holler. Oh, she said feet, Tommy, stop. Oh my god. You listen to Harry more than you do to me. That's because followage. Am I stupid? I don't know what you're doing. And I don't know. But we don't have any commands here. I'm very bare bones. Okay. I listen to Harry more than I listen to you because Harry's nicer to me. You're a bully. Alright. So, you may be aware of a movie called Memoirs of a Geisha. I like the movie a lot. Okay, I like a lot of period films. However, the movie is not correct, and this is the actual story of the lady that it is based on. I've been too long off Twitch. I don't know how stuff works anymore. Wow. I bet you got there because sometimes we mass sub random subs for her. Maybe. I read that in a woman's study course in college. I like it. And I find geisha to be very fascinating in general. So I have both of those. I have... This is called An Elegant Madness. This is specifically the Regency period. Listen, you guys have your, what was it that everybody was obsessed over? The Roman time period. How often do you think about Roman history? Most women are real big on the Victorian era. I like the gosh, my brain suddenly. Regency era. This is also a Regency era book. This is about the first dandy. Well, maybe not the first, but he put it on the map. And it goes into, there's a lot of men's clothing trends that continue to this day because of Mr. Brumwell. And Mr. Brumwell started a large fashion trend because the man had a lot of ingrown hairs on his neck. And he wanted to cover that up. So you simply just start a trend. If you're ugly, just cover it up. Start a fashion trend. It's fine. Boink. Yeah, I think about the fall of the Roman Empire a lot, I bet. Can't identify with talented people. Sorry, I demand no good to anyone representation. What? I need into them because of my Western civilization class in college. The first dandy. That's why I wear a hazmat suit everywhere I go. No, stop it. But that goes into kind of specifically his life. And then this specifically goes through, this is mostly just and I have underlined a lot in this. I have underlined a lot. But this is mostly going over like the high society of that time period. See, we don't have regular bookmarks. We just use whatever we can find. Leaves, pieces of paper. What is a bookmark? So there's that. This one is definitely more of a ladies' book. I've had this for a long time. This one goes into, what is this? See, we don't have regular bookmarks here. This one goes into like a bunch of different women that were seductive throughout history. So it kind of goes into like the like prehistoric or like early history era, but they kind of go into like women that were more homely but had like really talented skills. So like Edith Piaf, wear bootcut jeans and a hoodie and they do the same thing. Can I use a Fender Stratocaster as a book? Probably. Okay, check some third-party website. Apparently I'm a follower for 2 years and 2 months. Congratulations. That's the only one I remember from this book, honestly. That is the only person that I remember. Is there anybody else in here that I'm aware of? Probably not. I don't know, but it talks about being a hot lady, so there you go. There is, oh, hold on, let's talk about my favorite president. Let's talk about my favorite president. I love you, Teddy. I love Teddy. Teddy's my favorite president, and therefore we have a big ol' honking thing about how great Teddy is. We love Teddy. Bring Teddy back. I want 10 Teddys. I want fist fights in the White House. I want big sticks. Wait. No, that's not right. Gay for Teddy noises. Yes, I love Teddy. Teddy can do no wrong. I want big sticks. Yes, we want big sticks and we cannot lie. I love Teddy. He would never eat children. Teddy Roosevelt would never be an elite child-eating, sacrificing creature. There are many red birds outside. Aww, I'm jealous. The realest motherfucker ever, yes. Now I crave beef jerky sticks. He is my favorite. If we could clone him or bring him back to life, I would vote for him in every election. I love Teddy. Let's see what else I got here. Uh-oh, chat. I still got a big stack of books. Hold on. Big stack of books. Big stack of books. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to show you one more lady book. It's a little bit dusty. For a while, I was a little obsessed with Kate Spade. She has a book talking about how to be a good hostess. How to throw a good party. There's some recipes in here. But this is in all good taste. And it kind of just goes into how to set the seat, how to set your table, what kind of music, the guest list, how to respond. There's like a lot of etiquette stuff in here. How to respond, like to maybe little awkward social interactions. Little things that you can do to make your like party like cooler. Stop it. They're all Mount Redburbs, so they're tussling. Uh-oh. I'm curious if some channels have in rules not to ask for mod. Is it also bannable if I ask not to be a mod? Well, you're not a mod. What? He beat half of Congress to death and probably just remove every corrupt judge. Why exactly are we looking at these particular books? We're going through my bookshelf. Plus 70 girly points. Thank you for subbing for 27 months. Thank you, Dusk. There are some recipes, you most likely have them written down, don't you? No. Kate Spade is the old purse lady. Yeah, she's the old purse lady. But it's just kind of like etiquette and how to kind of throw a party. It's very fancy. How to be... You need this right here. Chat. Chat. Right here. Look right here. Chat. Pay attention. Look. Long moment of silence and suspicious no sound. Yes, Oki, you have no manners. No, not nanners. You need this. Oh, look. The art of flirtation. Okay, let's see. Despite the number of articles written on the topic, flirting isn't rocket science. X to doubt. X to doubt. Use a bigger font. Yeah, reread the book. Let's see what Kate Spade says. Kate Spade says, be your happiest self. Make eye contact. Okay, making eye contact. Employ one of these opening lines. Hello, stranger. What are you drinking? Is this seat taken? Ma'am, that's my lap. Where did you get that? Insert item here. When I make eye contact, I get death glares. What kind of eye contact are you making? Ma'am, I've already both versions of 5 love languages. Manners are for gay people, and gay people live in New York. Sorry, Oki, I don't make the rules. Phrasing. Insert item here. Where did you get that, whatever it is? Where'd you get that drink? Where'd you get that bag? Where'd you get that... Where'd you get those beautiful eyes? I can see the white text, it's too small. It's okay, we don't need to read the book chat. I also have, can I show this? Can I? Probably, this is fine. This is fine, you're all adults, right? This one I've looked at briefly, let me make sure we're, nope, that's naked. That's also naked. Is there any non-naked? Here's the skull. There you go. Banned forever. Wouldn't because Twitch banned is happy. I hate Twitch. Jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get them peepers? Yeah, man, ask if you're shown on network TV. Imagine telling an autistic person to maintain eye contact. Best I can do is stare at your hairline. I mean, middle of the forehead. It seems correct. I think Twitch TOS loves this book. Boy, how did all Oki's pages in this book get stuck together? No, please. There's lots of, I'm pretty sure some of that's racist. Yeah, we can look at neck. Look, neck muscles. Wow. Neck muscles, Chet. I have looked at this briefly, but it is a little bit, is a little bit, dense for me, I feel like. Fucking feathers. That's okay. Learning a skill, bad. That's good. Boobies drawn is bad. Art, bad. Real life, booba, fine. Speaking of racism, I wanted to read this on stream, but unfortunately it has no words in it. But this is the Girl Scout Handbook from 1953. And there's no words in here. I started reading it and I was like, oh, this would be cute to read on stream. And then there's like bannable words. The Girl Scouts in the 50s. Not TOS friendly. How to tie a fucking knot. But it is very cute. My friend got banned on stream because of a GTA and NPC. Really? Neighbor and Fragrant Fellow. I'm gonna pretend that those are for Browning Baking Division. The brownies. Those are Girl Scouts. The little Girl Scouts are called brownies. They're like under, it's a brownie scout. You have brownie and you have like an intermediate, you have like a Girl Scout and you have a scout. It's the littlest Girl Scout you could be. TOS violations are cute. Ew. Don't make me crave brownies. Brownies are like the Cub Scouts. Yeah, thank you. Excuse me, I don't live in the what? In their definition? What are you talking about? Call me naive, but I don't have any idea what would be no word in brownie manual. So they use, how do I put this? They use racially insensitive terminology in their opening statement. Because they're talking about, give a hint. Group of teenagers. Yeah. Gay pre-70s definition gives means joyous. How do you know the book was made before the 2000s? Because it tells you when the book was made when you look at it tells you. Italians? Yes, Italians. It's racist against Italians. But otherwise, these are very cute and wholesome. You know, we are learning international friendship. We have lots of cute little things. Nature, we like nature. Look at the cute little illustrations. Hopefully there's no words on this page. But I think these are just cute, and I like the older books, and it teaches you how to do things. Again, same thing with the brownie. Getting ready, you know, how to do little paper crafts and stuff. It's for smaller kids, so it's a little bit more childish, but it's still cute. Where it's like, brush your teeth, chat. So there's that. Speaking of old books, this one does not have no words. But this is my field guide to Burbs. It is an older bird identification But you have such cute little illustrations. Look at them duck. But a lot of these, like older ones, just kind of describe the bird to you. Excuse me. Don't look at it. The dog absolutely ripped my arm to shreds the other day. So, I kind of look like I got into a fist fight with Freddy Krueger. But most of them, like, just kind of describe. So you're just kind of like hoping that you could kind of figure out which one it is. Look at all those chickens. Wash your hands, Tommy. Barbs. But there are some pictures in these. And I like the old illustrations. Remember, children, don't stay on internet past 10 p.m. That's when the bad people submerge. Alright. Behold, we're getting into the tism. We're getting into the tism. So we have... Man, that's washed out. Let me just... This is Mozart's starlings. Starlings are an invasive species here in North America. People do not like them. Birders don't like them. Nobody likes them. They're a problem. Mozart kept a starling, and this book talks about that and how they can be charming despite their invasiveness. So it is an interesting book. Bad People is here. Hello, bad people. Welcome. You're in possibly good company. In the same vein, I've read this one like 3 times. I've read this on stream before. In a past life, perhaps. Startling propaganda, yes. Howdy, we're fine. I don't think anybody here live in their mother's basement and drink the Irish Rose out of a paper bag. I read this one like 3 times. This one goes through the entirety of the history of feeding birds, which does not sound like the history of anything. This is like the history of... English is not my first language. Screw up words often. Oh, that makes more sense as far as why some things I'm like, I don't understand what's being said here. Which you would think that it's not like... There's not a thing to have history about feeding birds. But... There is, and all the way from bird feeders to feeding birds out on like a wood board in your yard. And it also kind of goes into like when companies start like coming in and selling things like bird feeders or bird houses and bird seed. And so it was really pushed as far as like if you want to help birds or if you like birds, that you need to be feeding them because they can't get enough food by themselves. So it was kind of marketed that you were helping them, especially like in the winter. There we go. It's not fair how birds get the houses for free. Pleated Woodpecker and I are fighting right now because the bastard's hitting some flashing on my fireplace and it sounds like a full auto 20. Oh my gosh. I want to be a bird and get a free house. Before this book, birds went hungry. I have that one. I also have this one. This is my favorite birder lady. I think it was Rockwall? Rockport? Was it? I know it's Corpus Christi, but I don't remember Yeah, it was Rockport. She's down in Rockport, and I really think, so she was here in Texas, and I really kind of want to make a pilgrimage. It sounds so silly. I really want to make a pilgrimage down there before I move out of state. Because there's like a little like placard and stuff. Rock lobster. Feeding birds. With a bowl of birdseed labels freed birdseed, but there's an anvil hanging over. Oh my gosh. It is 2:30 for me, and my mind is stuck on the Avatar memes. I've been seeing a lot of that too. But my great-great-great-granddad designed some sort of seawall in Texas by a town. Really? Really? Day 3,845. Saw more birds. One day I'll make them all pay. No, but her name is Connie Hagar, and she started birding when she was a little bit older. But she used to throw, like, I've read this book a couple of times. She used to throw, like, absolutely killer tea parties. And she did a lot of birding, and she's a little firecracker. And she's just, look at her. She's a lovely lady. I love her. That's her puppy that would go birding with her. And she would never wear pants. Like, a lot of women at the time would, like, put pants on to go birding and stuff. She always wore dresses. And she's just a very fashionable lady, and I like her. Bird flu, yeah, they're supposed to do that. This one I did not finish, and I need to pick it back up again. I got frustrated with this book. I was excited because I'm like, oh, a Texas naturalist. This guy's kind of annoying. This guy's kind of ready to put some pants on in public. What? I need to try to pick it back up and try to reread it again. He's just really pretentious. And so it became frustrating to read. So I'm going to try to read it again at some point. I got through a couple of chapters, but eventually I just gave up because I was like, I can't listen to you talk. My pear tree is covered with hummingbirds right now. Oh, we had that problem. We had, not me, but X had a pear tree. Their parents had a pear tree, and there was always parrots. Because we have a tiny parrot problem here. Alright. I also have another small obsession. So, you know, earlier in the stream when I talked about how I liked the medieval time period? Do you remember that? Did you retain that information about me, chat? I wish my pear tree had pears. You have a pear tree too? All these people have pear trees. And a parrot in a pear tree. I didn't think we had wild parrots in the US. It's because people let them out, and now we have them nesting all over our city. See, well, I have a small obsession with medieval falconry. Everyone but you has a pear tree. Did you miss the meeting? No, but that's my favorite fruit. I can't have no mulberries. I can't have no pears. Life is hell. I have a peach tree. Oh, that's even better. Dang. Everybody has fruit trees. What the heck? I just have some big pines in front of my house. I'm probably doxing myself. Someday someone's gonna be able to identify where I live just by me saying there's parrots in my town and there's pine trees in front of my house. They're gonna be like, clocked it. Vicky likes peach. I sure do. Falconry. There's some proper noble blood in this food. I have your address. I have yours too, buddy. And my address is more base than yours, because, yeah, don't go further into the locations. Neighbors have plum trees, and I got fat squirrels. Oh, I bet. Pretty soon, I'll be able to find out where she lives. What do you mean? You have my address. You sent me a Christmas present. What are you talking about? You guys are silly. So I have a small obsession with medieval falconry. I do just like the medieval time period in general. Yeah, but find out in a creepy way. But I whatever. You guys are being weird. You guys are being weird today. Some of it is very not friendly. This one actually goes into like deep detail as far as like the equipment you need, what kind you want to use. What is your favorite one? What would be your favorite bird to use in falconry, chat? You can pick. Let's see. You can pick a buzzard, common buzzard, red-tailed buzzard, Horungus, Harry's hawk. We have a lot of those. Goshawk, sparrowhawks, Cooper's hawk. No, I'm thinking of the Cooper's hawk. Yeah, we have a lot of Cooper's hawks here. Falcons, prairie falcons. I really like merlins. I think merlins are so cute. They're just little guys. Can I pick a goose? I mean, I don't think they're going to do a very good job, but yeah. You know, you come to my neighborhood, the meth head and the alley will steal your Cadillac converter. Does the falcon itself count as a companion or equipment? Companion. There's a picture of a falcon face in the middle of that book. Like the reader's gonna see it and go, oh, that's a falcon. It'll do a good job of pissing off Tommy. I don't think Tommy's paying any attention. This one goes into kings and specifically like their falconry, and this one actually goes into hounds and hawks, so it goes into hunting, and it goes into like the whole like the pleasure of hunting and everything, and the like kind of whole deal as far as how it was done like as a pastime. It's very dense. See, look, you got nothing, no bookmarks. Pieces of half-eaten paper. I'm right here. Okay. I'm sleepy. We're almost done, chat. It's funny. I just saw a post the other day about, I think it was, who was it? Angelina Jolie hired poachers on a nature reserve. She purchased land for a nature reserve for elephants, and she hired poachers to run the nature preserve, which is something that Dian Fossey also did. But this is basically the gorilla version of Jane Goodall. It's much nicer. Gorillas have a better temperament than chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are mean little devils. And they're cannibalistic and they're spiteful. And gorillas are a little bit more chill. They're big babies. They're easily spooked. So, gorillas much better than chimpanzees. Orangutans, also much better than chimpanzees. Orangutans are just chill, guys. Orangutans ain't gonna hurt nobody. Not a big fan of monkeys. I'm not a big fan of monkeys either, but I do like the great apes better. And as far as the great apes go, gorillas and orangutans beat chimpanzees, because chimpanzees are like the crackheads of the ape world. But I read the whole book and I also watched the movie. The movie is not quite so accurate. They played up some parts to seem, I don't know. They took out some important stuff to make some people look, I guess, less bad. But definitely interesting. If you're into that kind of thing, definitely interesting to read about. Back when I lived in the boonies, I lived near this place called Big Thicket. It is the most diverse ecological area. I don't know if it's in Texas. I think in Texas, because you have a bunch of different biomes in one area. Why are you slapping me? Enjoy the documentary any which way you can. I am unfamiliar, so I don't know the joke. I assume that's the joke. But you basically have, again, very dense, but you have like a lot of swampland, you have plains, and it goes into how people used to, because the area is so like overgrown, and it's a thicket. The area is so overgrown and gross, the natives didn't even want to live there. And so you had all of these like bandits and people that were running from the law, and people like real backwoods cannibal kind of nonsense living out in this area back in ye old times. And nobody wanted to traverse this area because it was so overgrown and swampy and disgusting. And now it's a nature preserve. Why are we on Big Thick again? I got a phone call from Moms. What did I miss? Nothing. We're talking about living in the woods like a hillbilly. So if you like to read and you are interested in local areas around you, I would recommend you seeing if there are any books specifically about your area, because it's kind of cool to learn about where you live. It's cool. Don't hillbillies live in hills? Well, these are swamp billies. These are swamp billies. Sorry, I'm out of water. Wait, there's like a swig in here. But I think it is a good investment for you to learn about where you live. I think it's good to learn about your local history. I think it's good to learn about what you have in your area and where you come from and how everything developed. Squidbillies was such a bad show. And then we got this big boy. This isn't me. I bought this at a half price. So that's someone's random information. This is all these random pamphlets that came in this book. So there's like a bunch of like notes and stuff from this program and like a syllabus. But this is goes into naturalism in Texas, and it just goes into, like I was talking about, like the beginning, who was kind of around here before, some of our prehistoric creatures. I like that show, but it makes me homesick. It was an amazing show. Does it tell you where to find Sasquatch? Unfortunately, no. And you even get into like historical naturalists of Texas. So you have the early ones, and then it kind of goes into, man, there's a lot of them. Historical naturalists, there's a lot of them here. But it goes into, see, there's a bunch of notes in here. I didn't do none of that. All of the ecological regions. Got little critters. You got your geology, your soil. They're very big on the water. You got all of your plants and your invasive species, which a big problem. So you get the idea. It's a big, thick course book about cute little guys. Is that in a what? Is it a what? And those, I think that's it. Yeah, that's my bookshelf. That is my bookshelf. You can see where my priorities lie. I have lots of critter books, some historical stuff, and crap ton of animal stuff. So you get the idea. Yeah, that's it. Now you know my brain a little bit better, probably. Oh, like the first page you open up to looks like a demonstration on how to use a what? I don't know what that is. How to use a what now? Well, I'll never find it again. We'll never find it again. Who knows? Spear thrower. It's a weapon. Oh. That? Right there. Okay, yeah, that. Yes. Here, let me... And look, we're not even backwards anymore. So, that was my bookshelf chat. I hope you enjoyed my weird autism. To be clear to Twitch, I wasn't calling anyone. I don't think they would take it that way. But that's gonna be it for today. Let me see if... Pretty sure that's what it is, even I can't read the description. Do you want me to read it? It says hunter swings and an ad, whatever it is, or spear thrower overhead has a hook at one end and a handle on the other end. The hook is angled so that when the arm is extended, the dart or spear is released and hurled forward to achieve great velocity. Drawing by Ken Brown, Texas Archaeological Research Laboratory. Addle, addle, addle. Thank you for showing us your books. Yes, now you have peeked inside of my brain. Let me see if I can find who is streaming today. Who am do stream? Thanks for stream. No, thank you. This week we are gonna finish up our Backrooms game, hopefully. I don't know how long it is, actually. And then this weekend, I'm gonna hook up the Switch. We're gonna play Animal Crossing. We're gonna start a little village, and you can watch me, I don't know. Hold, please. How am I supposed to raid like this? Ugh. Alright. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again. I am your good neighbor. I hope you have a wonderful day at work tomorrow. It's Monday. We will come back and play some games and have fun. Have a good day. And I will see you guys later, okay? Bye-bye.